This is the outlook for the March, April, May 2013 long rain season, and review of the performance of the October, December 2012 rain season, as well as the weather during January to February 2013. The highlights are that the decreased and the poorly distributed rainfall is expected over most parts of the country during March, May 2013 long rain season. This is likely to be more pronounced in the arid and some semi-arid lands, which we call ourselves. The western and central counties, including Nairobi, as well as the coastal strip, are likely to experience enhanced rainfall. Most of the rainfall in the country is expected during the peak month of April, except over the coastal strip, where the peak is expected during the month of May. During January and February 2013, slightly cooler than average sea surface temperatures were present over the eastern and central equatorial Pacific Ocean. Neutral conditions were observed over the western equatorial Indian Ocean, while warmer than average sea surface temperatures prevailed over the eastern equatorial Indian Ocean adjacent to Australia. This is what they were telling you, the dipole, so that now wind will be offshore from Kenya, not bringing the moisture. So forecast for March, April, May 2013. This is the long rain season. March to May is a major rainfall season in most parts of the country, whereby we find that amounts of over 300% are recorded over western, 300 millimeters are recorded over western, central, coastal strip, and parts of northern Kenya. These are Marsabit and Mayale. The forecast for March to May is based on a prevailing and expected sea surface temperature anomalies over the Pacific, Indian Ocean, and Atlantic Oceans, as well as synoptic, mesoscale, and local factors that affect the climate over Kenya. These factors were assessed during the various tools, including ocean atmosphere models, statistical models, satellite-derived information, and expert interpretation as method. The prevailing slightly cool sea surface temperatures in the western equatorial Indian Ocean adjacent to the East African coast, coupled with the very warm sea surface temperature in the eastern equatorial Indian Ocean adjacent to Australia, were also considered. This constitutes a negative Indian Ocean dipole that is not favorable for good seasonal rainfall over most parts of the country, and more so the eastern sector. A dipole is just 2 points, and then one is cool, one is warm. So this time, the one over Australia is warmer, and ours is cool. So you have that wind moving from our place to theirs, denying us moisture. The predicted onset, cessation, and distribution of rainfall were derived from statistical analysis of past years, which exhibited similar characteristics to the current year. We call it the analog year. Another gas means similar. Okay. So this year we picked is similar to the situation now. We're not talking about analog and digital. For current season, the analog years were found to be 2001 and 1973. The forecast indicates that most parts of Kenya are likely to experience near normal rainfall with a tendency towards below normal. That's depressed rainfall. However, the western and central islands, as well as the coastal strip, are likely to experience near normal rainfall with a tendency towards the above normal, which we call enhanced rainfall. The specific outlook for March to May 2013 long rain season indicates that western counties as Busia, Vihiga, Kakamega, and Bungoma. Nyanza counties, Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, Siaya, Kisii, and Nyamira. Counties in the central and southern Rift Valley, represented by Kericho, Bomet, Nakuru, Laikipia, and Narok. Counties in the northern Rift Valley, represented by Trans Nzoia, Uasin Gishu, Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet. Central counties, represented by Nyandarua, Nyeri, Kiambu, Murang'a, and Kirinyaga. Nairobi County, some counties in eastern region, represented by Embu, Meru, and Taraganiti, and coast region, represented by Lamu, eastern parts of Kilifi, Mombasa, and Kwale. These counties are likely to receive near normal rainfall, with a tendency towards above normal, that is, enhanced rainfall. Several counties in eastern region, represented by Isiolo, Kitui, Machakos, Makueni, and Marsabit. Some counties in coast region, represented by Tana River, western parts of Kilifi, and Taita Taveta. Most counties in the northern Rift Valley, represented by Turkana, West Pokot, and Samburu. And counties in northeastern region, represented by Mandera, Garissa, and Wajir. These counties are likely to receive near normal rainfall with a tendency towards below normal. That is depressed rainfall. We don't mean they will not receive rainfall, but it is normal with a tendency towards the below normal. Expected seasonal rainfall distribution. The distribution both in time and space of March to May 2013 long rains is likely to be generally poor over most parts of the country, and more so in the arid and semi-arid lands, the South. In northwestern and southeastern Kenya, the rainfall performance is likely to be generally depressed in April and May, but slightly enhanced in March. Generally, enhanced rainfall is expected over the Western Highlands, Lake Basin, Central Rift Valley, and the Central Highlands, including Nairobi, in March to April. It is, however, expected to be generally depressed in May. The northeastern parts are likely to experience generally depressed rainfall throughout the season. The southeastern counties, like Voi and area, are expected to receive depressed rainfall throughout the period. The rainfall performance along the coastal strip is expected to be near normal in March and April, but enhanced in May, especially along the north coast. So now, expected onsets and cessation dates. Because if you have an onset and a cessation date, it gives you a period of the rainfall regime. And therefore, you can make decisions and plan. If the season of rain is long, you can know what type of crops to plant. If it's very short, again, you can know what type of plants or crops to plant and how to use it. So counties in the Lake Basin and in highlands west of the Rift Valley, the onset dates of the rains will be enhanced from the 2nd to 3rd week of March 2013. Cessation dates and rainfall will continue to June 2013. Southern parts of the Rift Valley, the rains will be enhanced from the 3rd to 4th week of March, and cessation will be 2nd to 3rd week of May, a short duration. Now the Central Rift Valley, the onset is 3rd to 4th week of March, and cessation is that it will continue to June, but will reduce during the 4th week of May. And the Central Rift Valley. Central Highlands, including Nairobi area, The onset of the rains is in the 3rd to 4th week of March, and cessation is 2nd to 3rd week of May. Southeastern counties, onset is 3rd to 4th week of March, and cessation is 1st week of May, generally dry for most of the month of May. And you may note that the southeastern part of the country, Makueni, Machakos, actually their long rains is what we call the short rain. October, November, December. They gain more from that than from the long rains. Coastal strip, the onset is on the 4th week of March to 1st week of April, and it will continue to June. Northeastern and Northwestern districts, the onset is on the 4th week of March to 1st week of April 2013. Cessation of the rains is on 1st to 2nd week of May 2013. Most areas to remain generally dry in May 2013. So again, the distribution of the rains, both spatially and in time, are very important for planning also. Now, generally when we give the forecast, we used to leave it there. We'll say we are scientific people, technical, we have done our part. But it came to pass that people in the agricultural sector would ask us, how do you want us to do this? You have given us a forecast. And the people in disaster management were also saying, how do we use this information? People in water and others. So, maximize the production. But please link up with the Ministry of Agriculture. They'll give you appropriate seeds and advisories on how to use this. In other agricultural counties like the southeastern Kenya, where the rainfall is expected to be generally depressed, farmers are also advised to liaise with the Ministry of Agriculture to get advice on the best use of rains and preferably planting appropriate crops that are drought resistant. So even though the rains will not be sufficient, but if you liaise with the Ministry of Agriculture, they'll give you good advisories on what to do. Disaster management sector. Lightning strikes are expected in Western Kenya, especially within Kisii and Kakamega counties, while flooding in places like Dalangi, Kano, and Tana River areas is probable. Isolated cases of landslides, mudslides are also likely in slopy and prone areas of Western, Central, and Rift Valley parts of the country. Working with the ministry, with the sister department of mines and geology, we know where the soil is weak and can result in mudslides and landslides. So we advise this in accordance with the information from them that there are some likely areas of mudslide and landslides. Normally, because of pressure of land, people build on the land slopes that are 60 degrees if you measure it from the normal. They're quite steep. And when it rains, the soil becomes waterlogged, gravity takes over, and there's a landslide, mudslide. So you come from work, you go home, you don't have a house, you don't have a farm. They're all moved away. And sometimes you pray that your family is safe. So conflicts over scarce availability of resources. Normally pasture and water may occur in the arid and semi-arid lands. The National Disaster Operations Center is therefore advised to take the necessary measures that would ensure mitigation of any negative impacts that may arise from the forecast conditions. So when there's scarcity of water and scarcity of pasture, sometimes it may bring conflict. Energy sector, the Tana River, the Takwell and Sondumirio catchment areas are expected to experience enhanced rainfall during the coming season, that's March and May. It is therefore expected that the level of water in the Seven Forks and other hydroelectric power generation dams will gradually improve during the season. Transport and public safety sector. Flash floods are likely to occur, especially in western and some parts of central Kenya. This may lead to transport problems, and more so in areas where the roads become impassable when it rains. Slippery roads may also pose dangers to motorists and pedestrians. Utmost care is required during the rainy period. Light aircrafts are advised to take utmost care in the western routes and avoid flying through deep cumulus clouds, especially in the afternoon hours. Such clouds are associated with severe turbulence, where we have updrafts and downdrafts of winds, which we call crosswinds, occasioned by strong convections. We call it clear air turbulence. You find a helicopter just moving, and all of a sudden it dips. You are not seeing it's clear, but there is wind streams within the wind and crosswinds, which you don't see with your naked eyes, but we are able to see with some instruments. And also be careful of lightning those areas. The Lake Victoria generates a lot of convection, and then you have Mount Elgon, where there's a orographic rise of air very rapidly to very high up areas, building convective clouds that generate lightning. And then there is the southwestern winds from Uganda, which advect the clouds now towards, from Mount Elgon towards Nyanza and Kisii area. So that area, Nandi Hills area, Kisii, a lot of lightning. And people say, I think we need to put there some lightning detectors. But detectors will just tell you that there's a likelihood of lightning. And then you give caution. Water resource management sector. Water resources for drinking, sanitation, and industrial use. In municipalities located in the western and central parts of the country are expected to improve due to the expected good rainfall in the regions. Elsewhere, the resources are likely to diminish due to the expected depressed rainfall, especially in northeastern Kenya. The current available water resources should therefore be well managed, especially in the marginal areas, in order to cater for animals and human population needs. We've been advising sometimes that it's good to do rainwater harvesting, even in such areas. Those who have gone to South Africa, even when you fly, you'll see a lot of farms. And in the US, if you go the state of California, which is generally dry, you'll see these farms. People are harvesting water for use during water scarcity. Local authorities, municipalities located in western, central Nairobi and the coastal regions where rainfall is likely to be enhanced are advised to open up drainage systems early enough so as to avoid water accumulation due to surface runoff that lead to flash flooding. Most of the flooding you see on the roads are not supposed to be there. But you can see there's a flooding on the road, but if you look at the drainage system, is closed. It has never been opened. So I think the municipalities need to do this. The health sector. Waterborne diseases associated with poor sanitation as well as flooding may emerge in areas expected to receive enhanced rainfall. Health authorities are therefore expected to be on the lookout and equip hospitals with the necessary drugs to be able to deal with such situations as they arise. There is also need to be on the lookout for island malaria in regions that are expected to receive enhanced rainfall. People have been complaining over the temperatures in Nairobi. Sometimes this last week they went up to 30. Nairobi is not supposed to have a temperature up to 30. The highest we have recorded in most cases is 27. But Nairobi has been voted the city with the best climate in the world, because it used to be between 22 and 25, very comfortable index. But now you see 30, and that means mosquitoes, which can survive very comfortably with the temperatures over 18, are now coming to the highland areas. People in the highland areas don't have enough immunity to malaria, and therefore, this is what you will hear, highland malaria becoming an epidemic. So we need to look at this. Environment. In areas expected to receive enhanced rainfall, the Ministry of Environment and Mineral Resources should encourage residents to put in place soil conservation measures to minimize environmental degradation. People should also be encouraged to plant more trees, especially indigenous trees, in order to increase forest cover. The trees you plant should be indigenous, because sometimes if you plant trees that are not indigenous, you won't see our birds going there. But by the way, birds are very selective. They only go to trees which they know. So if you bring a tree from Europe and you put it in your place, you'll see a bird going. They'll avoid it. So we need to plant species of trees that are indigenous to our region, because there are reasons why God made it so. Every climatic zone should be its own type of flora and fauna, animal and plant life. So the weather review for 2012, you are given October, November, and it showed that actually the rainfall came as observed.